Hello, hello, hello. How are you? It's me, Marlena Cole, your dating and relationship coach. And the creator of the Love Me Right coaching program, where we serve single African American women who are designed and destined to be a wife, help them experience the joy of being in a loving, secure, and stable relationship. Um, so today we are doing Love at Lunch. Yay! I want to keep these short and sweet, but I'm going to give you a minute to join us, share, come on in, or watch the replay if you can. So all month long, if you haven't heard, I will be coming to you between 11 and 12 o'clock doing Love at Lunch. And the reason why I want to do this is because I hear all too often that, hey, Marlena, when I get off work, I'm tired after I get the kids and, get dinner fixed, do all this. I'm not thinking about love. I'm not thinking about going out. I'm not thinking about a relationship. And I'm like, okay, for me, if you know me, there's no problems. There's just opportunities. So the opportunity for me is to bring love at lunch with you. So bring your headsets to work. Make sure that you block out some time between 11 and 12. I'm going to try to be as much the 11 o'clock hour than the 12 o'clock hour for Central Standard Time, I should say. Some of you are on the East Coast. But come on, join in. Again, want to keep these short and sweet, so I'm going to go whether somebody's live or not. You can always watch the replay. So before we jump in, we are talking about limiting beliefs all week long, and I'll get to you in a minute, remind you what limiting beliefs are. But I want to just have a real quick moment of what I call calling the elephant out in the room, and just be vulnerable, and just to really be open with you all and my mission and just really what's going on in my heart. So I was speaking with a lady yesterday, a potential client getting her enrolled, and she said to me, Marlena, I know that I need this coaching. I know, she was a referral. She was, I know, and I see a change in my friend's life. She said, but I am so afraid. I'm so afraid to move. She was like, I've gotten comfortable with just being by myself. And I asked her, I said, well, how true is that really? And she paused and she said, well, I've convinced myself that I'm okay sitting in the loneliness. I make time doing other things. I'm traveling, I work late. And she had other things going on that filled her. But as we continued to talk, she was just afraid, right? She had been disappointed in the past. Relationships didn't work out, and she was afraid of being hurt. And I get it. I totally get it. I can remember times where I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just done. I'm just going to be by myself. I'm fine. When my daughter leaves, I'm going to take a contracting job. I'm going to travel the world, working, meeting new people. I'm just done. I'm just going to be okay not getting married, because it was just too painful and it hurt too much to keep opening up and keep hoping for something that did not work. And so I just want to acknowledge all of the women, and I say women because I work with women, but to the men as well. I just want to acknowledge that the fear of being hurt. I want to acknowledge the fact that your relationships have not worked out as you desire and have left a wound in your heart. I want to acknowledge that it's not easy to open up the door of your heart and be vulnerable again. It's just not. But I can guarantee with a lot of certainty that there is a better life for you, that there are better relationships for you. I can guarantee that if you would dare to try again in a different way, not go and try and do it the same way you've been doing it, but try it a different way, try a different approach. I know that there's something better for you. I know that there is love out there for you. And my goal and my mission, especially with this month of coming to you with Love at Lunch, is really to give you strategies. You won't get from me 10 tips of how to manipulate him to call you back, because it's manipulation. You won't get from me 5 text messages on what to say to get him to ask you out. While you will get some how-tos and some things that are practical, um, it won't be based in manipulation and fear. And so my advice is always a choice for you. It's always strategy to build to something, because I believe in committing to the process and not the outcome. But I just wanted to share with you just that, and just acknowledge that I know it's not easy. I know you hear a lot of dating advice, what to do, how to do it. But the Love Me Right program, it works. It works, and it's not all about the other person, because to be honest, my marriage is about my husband and I. But I have to take care of me. Me being my mental, emotional, and spiritual health. I can't ask my husband to do that, because he doesn't, hey Deneen, he doesn't know how to take care of me in that way. He doesn't know the baggage, all the limiting beliefs and the heartache and things like that. So only I and God can really heal me. And for him, it's the same thing, right? I can walk alongside him and support him in his healing and his next move, but we are both responsible for ourselves and our own self-care, if you will. And then when we come together whole, and to come together after we've done our self-care, then our marriage is whole, right? We come in whole and we make it better. Anyway, just wanted to acknowledge that self-care, getting a coach is effective, right? Instead of doing the same thing over and over. And the Love Me program is all designed to help you become that whole person, healed, without fear, with love and power, unleashing your power, which is powerful and swift, and it is needed for marriage, because you have to know how to take care of yourself. People don't tell you that in marriage. They're like, oh, he take care of me and I take care of him and we take care of each other. Yeah, no, not necessarily. Yes, we do. We support each other in the marriage, but our self-care, mental, emotional, spiritual, is really our responsibility to take care of it. And then our partner walk alongside of us. So again, would love for you to just open up in this moment. And it's all about you. It's not 3 ways to get anybody, 5 ways to attract anybody. It's really about your healing, you becoming your authentic self, who God created you to be, and unleashing that power, because that right there is going to, when you meet your husband, he's going to be like, wait a minute, it's something about her. That's my wife, because he's going to see that wholeness and that love in you. He's going to see something that triggers in him to get his stuff together if it's not together. That, and in the sense of calling him to greater, because your Eden presence, your authentic self, is going to call him to a greater desire in him to want to be better. All right. All right. Let's get started. So we're going to be talking about what's limiting you from meeting, things we learned when we were younger that is keeping us single, right? We're talking about limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs are things that you believe about yourself, others, or the world, or a situation that you believe is true, but it's limiting you in some way. And we talked yesterday how there's true, lowercase true, which, because it's like they thought the world was flat, and that was true for them, but really they found out that the world was round and the earth was round. And so we are limited by what we believe is true. And then there's truth, which is universal laws like gravity. Whether you believe it or not, it's still truth, right? And so these things that we're talking about all week is limiting us. They're true for us, right? But in my program, we challenge everything that's not a universal truth, right? We look at it to make sure it's a universal truth. And if it's not, and it's not serving us, and it's limiting us from what we believe, then we create new rules for us. It's okay. It's okay to create new things. And this is why. So I hope this is fun for you. I have a whole list of them, but I'm only going to give you 5 today. So things that are limiting you that you learned when you were younger. Can you think of one? Deneen, can you think of something that you were taught as a young lady that may be limiting you as a grown woman? The first thing I thought of was, don't talk to strangers. That may sound silly, but really, we were taught as young kids, don't talk to strangers. So we didn't, and it was for our safety, right? We didn't want our kids being too friendly. Still now I teach my son, don't talk to strangers. And every time I tell him that, I think, man, I'm gonna have to remind him when he gets older, it's okay to talk to strangers, because guess what? Your future husband is a stranger probably right now, or was a stranger. He may be somebody you already know and you just haven't realized that you are two together. But we as women, we go out and we see people who we want to talk to, and we don't. Why? Because this limited belief in the back of our mind is don't talk to strangers. Right? So ladies, it is okay to walk up and introduce yourself to a stranger, to a guy, right? If you see something interesting about him or you want to have a conversation with him, it is okay. It is required to talk to strangers because guess what? More than likely, your potential husband is a stranger, right? You see how that could be limiting you? So this next one ties to what I just said, that men have to be the ones to ask us out. They have to be the one to approach first, right? Because back in the day, if you approached the man first, then you were kind of like a set out, right? So you were overly aggressive. So we waited for men to talk to us. I was talking to a client and she was telling about her weekend, and she was at this event, and there was this guy she wanted to talk to, and she was like, but he didn't come and talk to me. I was like, and you're at the same event. There's so much, you have so much in common. He was by himself. He wasn't with the lady. So why didn't you go up and talk to her? And she was like, I don't know. I don't know. And I was like, yeah, next time it's okay, right? It's this limiting belief that men have to be able to approach us. And so her and I worked through it, how it's okay to approach men. Now women, we don't pick up men, right? We're not like, hey, give me your phone number. Let me come to your house. Let me take you out to dinner. No, but it's okay to walk up and say, hi, I'm Marlena. What brings you here? What's your name? What brings you here? Oh my God, this party, this music is jamming. They taking me back, right? It's okay to have that conversation. And I'm sure men will appreciate it because they've been approaching for decades, right? And getting rejected. Right. And so now men are more hesitant to approach because rejection doesn't feel good. It's embarrassing, mess with their confidence and low self-esteem. And so nowadays men aren't approaching as much. Well, it's okay. Ladies, we don't pick up, but we do approach. All right. All right. You see how this may be freeing you from some barriers that you were taught? Not that they're right or wrong. It's just not serving you as the grown woman that you want. And so you are well in your right to walk across the room, talk to a man, start up a conversation, walk away. More than likely by the end of the night, if he's available, he'll be looking for you to get your phone number. All right. Is this good? So let's see. The other one is opposites attract. Ooh, I think this is probably one that has caused a lot of divorce. Because the thing of it is, that's probably true when you're talking about like, what's that, the magnet and things like that. But when we're talking about a relationship, it's not prudent to get somebody who's completely different from you, completely different in your values, completely different in the things they enjoy doing, completely different in their belief systems and their truths, right? The truths that are universal truth. That is probably not going to be a healthy relationship because you're going to constantly be in conflict with each other. Either you're going to be trying to change him or he's going to be trying to change you. So opposites do attract, but not necessarily make for a good and healthy relationship. Does that make sense? So have you ever heard that before, Denise, that opposites attract? And have you ever dated somebody who was opposite? I have dated someone who was super, super introverted. And I'm not. I'm like, hey, let's try this. Let's go here. And he was super introverted. And the only thing we did, which it did not last long, was stay in the house. I was like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. Right? So again, having things that are not alike are okay. But for the most part, you should line up with what you believe in, your capital T truths. Be willing to challenge your lowercase truths, right, to make it work for the relationship. My husband and I do it all the time because we come from two different households. I'm like, okay, babe, that's your truth. This is mine. What do we need to do to have a win-win conversation? It is not opposites attract. And then we try to convince each other to come to our side. No, that's a hot mess. And it will leave you probably broken, frustrated, and in divorce if you marry somebody who is complete opposite of you. Okay. Cookies, and this one is the cookies control the world. Cookies being women's, you know what, right? We've been taught, hey, who carries the cookie controls the world, control men. And I think a lot of women, and this is a little on the serious side, a lot of women, including myself, have used that ineffective thought process, right? To say, hey, I laid it on him. I got him, right? Yeah, no. The cookie, for one, it should be worth more than a cookie. If you're giving up one of your most precious jewels, and it does not control men. That is manipulation. And if it does get him and keep him for a little bit, it's probably not going to be sustainable, right? Because men, and I'm not speaking for men, but this is what my male panel has said, is that, yeah, initially I want the booty. Yeah, I do. They was like, but after I get it, I need something deeper, a deeper connection with her, something that keeps us bound together. Other than that, I'm going to get bored, because guess what? All women got a cookie. Right? So the cookie, ladies, for one, should be priced more than a cookie, but that's a conversation for another day. And also, it doesn't, that's manipulation out of fear and not knowing your worth. So whoever taught that probably was true for them, but it is not a capital truth, and it does not hold on to a man. It does not keep him there, and it does not make him desire you more, because truth be told, you don't have to give up the cookie to get married. There are plenty of people who men wait for them, wait long time, even maybe not until marriage, but sometimes they do. And I've heard men say, hey, I've slept with women on the first night and we spent years together. And I've had women who made me wait 6 months, 3 months, and it didn't last. And they said it had nothing to do with sex. It was just that we didn't have a connection, right? We couldn't build a deeper connection, so they left. Okay, the last one, date one guy at a time. So women have been doing this for years, and this is something that I get a lot of pushback in my program with my ladies, because that is not the dating approach. For one, a date for us is a date by definition has two different definitions. It's a social gathering, or it's a romantic gathering. For my women in the Love Me Right coaching program, they already know every date is always a social date until the two of you come in agreement that it's more than that. And so if I stick with the limiting belief, only date one man at a time, and this is a social date, he is free, for one, to have as many romantic dates or social dates with whomever he wants, which then leaves me with only this one option. And then guess what? We date socially for 3 months and then we move on. Then I have to start over. No, that's not. And the reason why they taught us that, and I totally get it, when we're 15, 16 years old, starting to date, or however old you were when you started to date, it did not look good for you to be out with a bunch of different little boys, right? Because then you're this fast tail girl. I get it. Parents use it as a way for us to treat ourselves like women, to control it. We were hormonal, couldn't control ourselves, right? They didn't want us sleeping around in the neighborhood. Totally made sense when we were in our teenage years. But now that we are in our 30s and our 40s and our 50s, ladies, it is okay to go out on as many social dates as you like. All right, that's all I have for today. For the Love at Lunch, we are breaking down limiting beliefs that are keeping us from the love that we desire, that is keeping us from the secure and safe relationship that our hearts desire. I hope to see you again tomorrow around 11 a.m. Love at Lunch, and reach out. Please subscribe to my email list, where I'm giving even more juicier tips and strategies, helping you unblock and build healthy relationships. I am at lovemeright.com, www.lovemeright.com. Please subscribe. Let's stay connected. Let's build a deeper relationship. All right. Thank you guys for joining and or watching a replay. This is Marlena Cole, your dating and love relationship coach for single African American women, helping you attract, connect, and build healthy relationships. All right. See you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.